going on, my brothers and sisters? Welcome back to the Limited Headspace podcast. It's me, we got Lee behind the camera. We tried to call Baz, he didn't pick up. He's missing in action today, which I think stands for maybe in accident. I don't know. We're at the new studio. We got the Christmas tree. It's Lee's Christmas tree. He decorates it with Harry Potter and Bic lighters. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him. No worries, it's all happening. We're at the new studio here, which also means we're at Lee's house instead of my house. You know, we're trying something new. We sat here for 3 fucking hours and to try like a new setup, get something a little bit better going, throw a bit of a nicer program for you guys, and we accomplished absolutely fucking nothing. So we went back to the old way, and we're doing this podcast now. I apologize we haven't been back. Me and Lee, we recorded a podcast, which we thought was the greatest one we've ever done. We had some funny moments, we had some laughs, it was great. We were having a good time laughing the whole time. We thought you would have enjoyed it. And as soon as we stopped filming, the camera decided to delete half of the podcast, and I nearly threw Lee off the balcony. Luckily I didn't, but we got a great video. Maybe we should post that video. You know how the one where
yeah, we got to make a clip out of it.
The one where like you think something wrong's happening, and I went, Lee, this better not be fucking happening. Yeah. And then Lee goes, no, it's all good, because the camera goes, oh no, error fixed. And I was like, oh, I nearly threw you out the fucking window, Lee.
Yeah, that's right, because the camera said camera error at the end of filming, and then it said error fixed, and then it wasn't fixed. It was a bunch of bullshit.
It was ridiculous. That was a bad time. I'm on holidays. This is my first day of holiday. I'm gonna work for a little bit. Fuck yeah. Got like a month off. We're gonna do some podcasts hopefully for you guys to watch. So today I got a beer and we got whiskey. So, you know, I don't really drink whiskey all the time, but ever at all. But today we thought we'd try to put some hair on our chest. Lee's got too much. I don't have any. I don't really know what good that's gonna do, but we're getting hairy up in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys' 2020 wasn't that bad. Excuse me if I'm slurring. We've been, like I said, sitting here for fucking 2 hours. Lee's been doing all the work. I've been sitting here drinking and bitching, which is what I'm usually good for. But anyway, I hope your 2020 hasn't been too bad. I hope you got some things accomplished. Me and Lee got something accomplished. We finally fucking did this. It took us like 3 years to talk about, and yeah, we didn't like dive into it and let it take over our lives and do like heaps of podcasts. Hey, but we fucking started. What did you fucking do in 2020? That's what I want to fucking know. So cheers to Lee, my brother. Bro. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers, guys.
Merry Christmas coming up soon. That's why we celebrated with this big light Christmas tree with the Prisoner of Azkaban up in the house. Again, we got some shit to talk about. I'm going to try to keep this fun today, and we'll see where we get. Now, the first thing I want to say, let me have a sip because this is rude otherwise. The first thing I wanted to mention is we got our first person hitting us up with a comment. They even said that they paused the video because they want to lay down the law. Lay down a little bit of the law here and tell me what's up. So shout outs to Nicole, Marco on the Facebooks. You know, give her a follow or whatever if that's a thing people still do. We're going to read out her message and we're going to try and give a bit of a response here. I think we were talking about the corona, right? And she brought it down, and I think basically what we were trying to say, what I was saying at the time was that we all believe corona is real, and even if it was maybe perhaps a bit of a conspiracy, I personally couldn't think of like a reason like why they would do it, you know? So Nicole replied, she stopped the video. I'll read out Nicole Marcos. I don't think it's Marcos, it's Marcos. It's like an Italian, Marcos, Nicole Marcos. Anyway, she says, hey, exclamation mark, which is like hold the fuck up, yeah? Stop this video to write this comment to make a suggestion as to why they spread this virus. Okay, so she's saying they spread this virus. How are they benefiting from it? Question mark, 3 words. Data collection and control. But there's 4 words, doesn't matter. The and it can be simple. And then in brackets, as a result from data collection, tracking is the new world. The vaccine will determine whether you have freedom to move within the system structure, including travel. No jab, no real freedom. I didn't vaccinate my children, so therefore they will more than likely be unable to leave the country to travel in the future unless we find loopholes in the laws. Want to watch something entertaining? YouTube event 201 and notice the date it was held and uploaded. It was all planned. Okay. So there was a lot of stuff said in that statement. And we could go down rabbit holes with conspiracies and the government and the rest of the shit. My thing always, Nicole, that I just wanted to say, right, is who is the thing I always come back to with these kinds of things, because I can see what you're saying with like no jab and they won't let you travel. You know, I'm not really against the whole vaccination thing. I was vaccinated as a kid. When I came to Australia, I had to get vaccinated because I guess there are certain different diseases. I'm not a doctor, that's why I don't want to get into this. I don't really know. I've still got the little mark on my arm, you know, with the vaccination leaves. But to be fair to you as well, if the corona vaccine comes along, I'm giving it a good fucking 12 months before I get it, because I don't want to start growing a fucking third arm on my back. You know what I mean? I want to as well be a little bit safe.
Some real mutations.
Dude, did you, just to stop before even Nicole, you might have seen this video, before I completely replied to Nicole's question here, or what she's saying, is did you see that video of Bill Gates? And he goes, well, we have to give the vaccine, you know, the coronavirus vaccine, and you usually have to take 2 doses, and they're big, heavy doses. And he's on the news. Joe Rogan has got it on his Instagram. It's a great video. And she's going, yeah, but we've been hearing that 80% of these patients have like extremely bad side effects, you know? And Bill Gates goes, yeah, but you know, except for like really, really bad, serious pain, like nothing else happens. So did you just hear what you said, cunt? Except for really, really bad, serious pain, you're pretty good. I don't know. I'm not down for serious pain. So back to the thing I was going to say, Nicole, is I would wait to see what happens with the coronavirus vaccine. I wouldn't take it either. And I guess they might do this whole thing where they might start trying to vaccinate people before letting them go overseas. That might dissipate over time anyway. The thing I always come back to with these large scale of they're spreading this and then they control that, like that they came up with this whole thing is I think everyone is subject to the human condition, which is everyone commits human error accidentally, whether they help it or not. And frankly, no one's that fucking organized. I've worked at McDonald's as a kid. I believe maybe you have as well. When we were all kids, most of us did. But even those motherfuckers, excuse me, weren't that organized. I have to excuse myself for not pronouncing a swear word properly. I'm fucking so proud. But even those McDonald's people. What they did greatly is they had systems in place, but even within there, the human error exists where managers would cheat on, or not cheat, would sleep with each other. People would take money from this and that. You know what I mean? The human condition was there, so these other people had to come up with systems to kind of manage that, but you couldn't hold it back. And like Edward Snowden and stuff, things get leaked and this and that, and I don't know, man. I just don't. I find it very hard to sometimes believe that they can plan it all. I haven't watched your YouTube video, Event 201. I will watch it and maybe I'll give you a bit of a better reply. If you're ever in Sydney, feel free to get in touch with us and we'll come on the podcast, talk about some shit. I like a good conspiracy. We're going to get into a few today. We're going to try to talk about some crazy shit. But look, even in regards, if we play, not devil's advocate, what's the opposite of devil's advocate?
Is there an opposite?
Yeah, like if we play along with your theory here.
Go along with it?
If we go along with it. So simple. I'm so stupid. If we go along with it. So to control people, how would they control people with vaccines? You're not allowed to do this and that with the vaccine. Get the vaccine and you can do it all. Then what's the problem? You know, like you said, control. It's control because maybe you don't want the vaccine or want your kids to get the vaccine. Even I don't. Like if they said to me, you can't go to work unless you get the vaccine, I'd be like, that's a bit of bullshit. You guys can go fuck yourself. I'm not getting the vaccine. That's ridiculous. If it's overseas travel, right, like I get it. I don't like it. It's because everyone's fucking scared of this thing and they don't know what it is. So they're just trying to take the most necessary precautions and everyone's playing tribals and, you know, and we're not human beings. You guys are different from us. You're bringing this in. So they want you to have a fucking vaccine, I guess. I don't know. You know. What's going on? Have you heard anything? I've kind of gotten over the coronas. You know what I mean? Melbourne's free. We're lucky here in Australia. I've been here in America's in a second lockdown. Again, comedian and a brilliant show. Everyone should watch out there. If you want something to listen to, he's a great guy. He's very cynical. It fucking cracks me up. His name's Tim Dillon. The Tim Dillon Show on YouTube. And he brings up a very fucking good point, Lee, that I don't understand, right? And even the Who, you know the Who?
As in the band?
No, not the band. We're talking about Corona, the Who, the band. You fucking kidding me right now, Lee? The World Health Organization.
Blitzkrieg blow all the way, bro.
So you know yeah, okay. You know what they said? You know what they said is the purpose of a lockdown, right? The purpose of a lockdown is to lock down the immediate threat when you do not know what it is, when it's unidentified, so you can come up with a plan, contain it, and come up with a contingency to be able to operate. So the economy doesn't go fucking nose diving into the floor, right?
Yeah.
So my question is simple, right? Why hasn't anyone prepared? It's been 8 months. It's been nearly a year. Why haven't we built more hospitals? Why haven't we prepared more beds? Why haven't we done the rest of it? Why has it just been, again, in Australia, very, very lucky. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? We got very lucky here that not much kicked off. But in these other countries, no one's done anything. I feel like.
America and the US was too slow to react.
Can you tell me your mum's a nurse in America? Lee's mum's a nurse in America. Mm-hmm. She may have even had the coronas. What did she say? Did they prepare more? Or did they just go business as usual?
They were completely underprepared, and naturally.
But then,
naturally, things like masks went into more production. Obviously, hand sanitizers and all that shit. And I'm pretty sure the whole thing was the shortage of
ventilators.
Ventilators.
But they're saying now ventilators killing these motherfuckers. Ventilators is no longer the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but that was initially, in the beginning, that was the big deal, was they felt like they didn't have enough of those, and that was always a question in the health systems as to why they didn't have enough ventilators, because they always kind of people had suspected for years that an outbreak like this could happen, and no one really listened and didn't prepare for it. But I guess your question is why haven't they prepared for it in the 8 months since it first happened?
Correct. If they're saying, again, remember the lockdown's meant to be so we don't put pressure on the underprepared medical system. There's not enough beds. There's not enough this and that. There's not enough staff. 8 months. Get some beds. Make a tent. Fucking get a hospital army looking thing. Train some people. Put some courses up. Instead of giving people money to sit on their ass,
they did build. There's been hospitals built. Remember, there was a hospital. Was it in China that was built in something like 4 days or a week or something? They literally.
Yeah, okay. So China did a good thing.
I don't know if it was China, but there was somewhere too. There was definitely China, 2 that were built somewhere in the world.
Sure, I did see that, and they were built in record time. Like they just fucking boom. Yeah. So China did it. Why the fuck didn't anyone else? Why didn't everyone do that, man?
Well, like I said, I don't know if it was China, but why didn't everyone? I don't know. Everyone.
You know what I mean?
Funding and shit. People didn't take it seriously, man. Europe didn't lock down. Like maybe certain countries did, but I knew people back home in the UK that were still traveling when the numbers were high in the UK, you know, and so they didn't take it seriously. I guess their excuse is the trade routes in Europe are too big to close down. Maybe I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Yeah,
I know some of my one of my uncles works, you know, lives in the UK and often has to go to places like Brussels for work. So, you know, stopping people from that doing their jobs, I don't fucking know.
Europe is very international travel. It's like driving from Newcastle to fucking New South Wales. You're in a new place, and it's very 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 normal, and they do trade with each other like that. So that is true, I guess.
And America, it wasn't taken seriously in America at all. You know, like apparently New York was quite alright after a while. Like I think they did well after it really spiked there. Like they really seem to have controlled it, but I don't remember anywhere in America really going in lockdown.
They had a lockdown.
Full lockdown.
Yeah, they had like a 2-week one.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know what you call a fucking full one.
But there you go, compared to what we've been doing here, like, I don't know. As well, were they in summer when they first got it? March, they would have been, right? Because that's the end of our summer when it kicked off. I don't know.
It's all very disconcerting. I don't know. I'm very fucking over it. I'm glad we're not locked down. I feel sorry for everyone else. Like, I don't want to drag on about Corona because I feel like that's all we fucking ever talk about. But Nicole, there you go. That's what maybe... I get the control...
The data collection thing's definitely...
The what?
The data collection thing. So that was one of the points she made in her comment. That
the data collection.
That's clearly happening with the fact that they're making you scan QR codes everywhere.
Yeah, but this is why I don't believe that, okay? So I agree with you there. But you know what you do? You don't fucking do it. Me and Lee had a very nice dinner tonight, or like what would you call it? You know how they got between breakfast and... Me and Lee had a very nice date today. We went to Betty's Burgers, a little bit gay, me and Lee. Very good. We got some burgers, and the lady, we walked in. You know how you rock up to a restaurant, little sign, please wait to be seated? We waited.
Yeah, we did too.
We waited for 10, 15 good seconds, and no one came, so we looked at each other and said, "Don't fuck this," and we walked in. And she goes, "Oh, hey guys, are you a takeaway or dining in?" And I went, oh, well, you've got chairs. We'd like to sit. So she goes, okay, follow me back outside. And I went, oh my God, I feel like a bad dog. Like you got to let me in. Am I a vampire? Fuck. Walk outside. Can you just scan in, grab a menu if you want, come order at the counter. So no service. I got to take my own menu. Number one. Okay.
I guess that's as well. They'd probably.
I guess it's the corona. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. This is ridiculous. We can't go to a restaurant anymore, have a nice meal.
I think here especially, like, it's dragged on too long.
Oh, it's ridiculous. No one's got it. Some new guy got it. He'll be okay.
There was a new guy that got it. I saw that today as well.
He'll be fine. All right. I hope so. Anyway, we're at this fucking place. So I scanned the QR code. Did I fill the fucking thing out? No, I fucking didn't. I just opened up and went, oh, whoops.
Have you ever gone to a place and they've actually checked that you've done it?
Yeah, I've been to a few. I've been to 2 or 3 where they go, oh, let me check.
I've had some of them from work like that, but not like when
you
going
check.
out.
If you check, I'll do it. Oh my God, I forgot I didn't press the button. My bad, I'll do it.
I'll make an excuse.
Yeah, as much as I can, I'm not doing it. I'm not downloading your COVID track app. You can go and fuck yourself. I'm sorry, I think it's real. I think this thing's out there. I think it's very dangerous. Again, I'm not a doctor, Nicole. But I don't know what it is. I don't think we're all gonna die from it. I think we'll be okay. I think we should protect the sick, get your immunity up, vitamin D. They say the sun, get some vitamin C, some fish oils, whatever the fuck works for you. Stay strong, stay healthy. We love you. Yeah. So again, that's just my control thing. I think does that cover your point, Nicole? We're getting through here because I hope we are. You know. And leave us another message, anyone, if you've got some shit to say. If you want to watch
that video, we should watch the video.
We will watch the video
before the next podcast.
We're going to watch the video. We're going to watch another video straight, probably even after this, maybe. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Maybe we'll do like a little current events kind of thing. We'll talk to you soon, Nicole. But Lee mentioned this, that we should maybe bring this up, is the monoliths. Anyone seen the metal, the big metal, I wanted to say. I don't know why I said black, big metal.
Where were they? There was one in Romania.
First one was in the US. First one was in the US.
Was it? I thought the Romanian one was first.
Incorrect.
No?
First one was in the US, and the guys were doing a counter to go to something in like Utah. I think it was Utah.
Utah, yeah.
And homeboys found it, and they took a couple of pictures, and then that one went missing, and then the new one in Romania. The one in Romania had kind of like scratch marks on a different kind of finish, I felt as well. But then even some guy came out and said it was a stunt. Listen.
Who came out and said it was a stunt?
I
heard someone did. Someone did, like it was
some newspaper said some shit about some guy saying it was a stunt. But listen, even if this guy didn't come out, who gives a fuck about a big metal thing? You know what I mean? I understand anything's a dildo if you're brave enough, but fuck. What are we doing now? There's a thing in the desert, it's metal, we got to crowd around it and bow down, like, you know.
It's the mystery of how they appeared, I guess. That's what's pulling people up.
Overnight when we were sleeping, someone dragged it there in a fucking...
But why?
To get us going.
But it worked. Look at the global attention it got.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? That's my point. Yeah. It's a little bit like...
It's a stunt though. It's a stunt.
I get it.
They went out there with the goal to achieve, and I don't know if they surpassed that goal or if they achieved that goal, but they clearly got attention.
Someone set out to go, I'm going to put a big shiny metal thing in the fucking desert, and then I might even put one in Romania. I might call my friend, and we'll call another guy in New Zealand, and we'll have this succession of monoliths appearing, disappearing, just to get people's attention to go, wow, what is that? Hold on, let me finish. It worked. Yeah, you fucking apologize. I'm talking right now. I'm not finished. It worked.
Make your point.
What did they achieve?
Attention.
Who gives attention? We're applauding attention whores now?
No, but I'm not personally applauding them.
I think you kind of are, you. This is all
they
you.
They got attention, right?
Who gives a fuck? I can put my butthole on a gay porn website and get plenty of attention.
You might not. That's the thing.
Hey, I might have how do you know about my buttholes?
I don't.
Anyway, but what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
They got attention.
Gives a fuck.
So people took notice. But I heard as well, there was a second one that appeared in America, right? And I read, and whether or not this is true again, who fucking knows, but a Christian group took it down and replaced it with a cross. And there was...
Of course they did. Can we enough with the Jesus, please? Forgiveness everywhere. Can we not forgive? Can we listen? I heard another thing. I told Lee I lost it in the car. I was listening to one of my fucking favorite podcasts, the Joe Rogan Experience. And Joe, you kind of fucked up too, by the way. If you ever see this doubt, you will. Anyway, doesn't matter. But he goes, why isn't anyone trying to bring back the old gods like Odin and Thor? I started shaking the steering wheel because I was like, that's me. I am Odin, Thor, Frey, Tyr, all the old gods. Freya, let's go. We're bringing them back. Rogan started lumping them in with Zeus and Jupiter. So, bitch, you're mixing
Norse with
Greeks and the Romans gods versus the Norse gods, the Viking gods. What are you doing? Maybe you don't know. You got the Jesus. We got the Odin.
What was his reasoning for wanting to bring back the old gods?
He goes, no. He was just laughing that no one's trying to do that. And I said, yes, I am. I am trying to do that. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
You are.
How about no more forgiveness? How about we bathe in the blood of our enemies? How about
revenge.
How about we drink beer out of human skulls again for a little bit? Just a little bit. And not to the nice people. We can have the nice people. We can all be friends and hugging children and stuff and parties. But can we just a little bit of revenge? Just like a touch.
On all the pedophiles,
Just,
all those
just stop throwing some bows, man. When shit goes down, instead of forgiveness all the time. Someone spit in your face, forgiveness. How about you fucking slap them a little bit? Just straighten them up so they don't fucking keep going like that anymore. Maybe that's exactly what they need. Maybe that's Jesus saying to him, spit in their face and fucking slaps you out of it, man. Sometimes you need that shit. That's why no one looks at the Old Testament anymore. That guy was a prick. Floods and deaths of children and firstborns and Lotus and Jesus Christ. That's why it's now people go, Jesus Christ, because fucking he saved us from that. I think we need a bit more revenge.
A bit of old school mythology.
A little bit of violence is good, I think. You know, just get it out of your system. Don't hurt anybody. Hurt yourself, if anything. Injuries happen, but do a little bit of jiu-jitsu. You know, don't go listen. Don't go out there and start stabbing people. I'm fucking joking. Clearly, I'm trying to joke. But, a little bit of martial arts, combat sports, running up some hills, doing shit like that, I believe that's all very good for you, especially for young males with a lot of pent-up anger, like I do.
Get moving, people.
Yeah, start running. Trust me, you feel better. It feels a little bit better inside here. Things start making a little bit more sense. It's a bit more coherent. You're not just slamming doors anymore and fucking hoping they fall off the hinges. So we have the monoliths, yeah, after my little bit of a rant there. The other thing I wanted to talk to Lee about, right, even though he's walking over there now, it's very rude, we're trying to do a podcast, is, and you guys out there as well, you have to watch this documentary. I don't get all conspiratorial all the time, but aliens, apparently they're here, bro. There's a movie, a documentary called The Phenomenon. I forget the people who made it because I'm a dickhead. Beautiful series. It shows you, you know how all this stuff's been coming out from the Air Force, Lee?
Sorry?
Have you seen all the stuff coming out from the Air Force? They've been showing their fighter jets and these other things that they
have objects that are from this world.
So they're basically, and they show
that came out this year, after Corona kicked off. That was one of the theories, right?
What was that?
They're going to slide this in as Corona kicks off under the radar. Anyway, it's off topic. Go about what you were saying.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but this documentary, it's about, it tries to wrap in, tie together all the Air Force releasing different things off of jets, their radars, how these little things off radars just go flying. It's very interesting. It's got reputable people for once. It's not just like Betty Joe and Jim at the farm taking fucking snaps right above the clothesline where you could fucking hang something. You know what I mean? So it was a good one if you guys want to watch something like that. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, 100%.
Believe in aliens?
I believe in multiple aliens. I believe in they're fucking everywhere.
You reckon there's a lot of different ones?
Yeah.
They're here?
Total guardians of the galaxy. That's what I reckon. All sorts of different, whether they're in our galaxy alone or other galaxies that we haven't seen.
They just said a space milk bar somewhere up there having cocktails.
100%. That's what I believe.
Christ, they've been watching too much Marvel. Fucking universe up in here with the kids. Look, maybe they're real.
At the very least, I believe they exist. Yeah.
I do as well. Whether they can get here, there's so many questions in regards to that because of the way time, space, travel, it all works. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts about this. It's very interesting. Like really, the travel and the thing is the biggest thing. Is like the amount of resources you have to waste, let alone, and it's like, but maybe that's only with our understanding. That's what I was going back to.
That's only within our knowledge of
Within
our own
our
ecosystem,
grasp, yeah.
right? Our own planet. Because that's all we have to go off. The only power sources we have are from this planet alone.
Yeah, but how the fuck we get to another planet if that's all we got?
Us, we might not. But let's say there was another galaxy where the planets were close enough that they could hop quite easily, and those.
Oh, and they can maximize up on their resources.
Yeah, you know, that's one way, right?
That's
one theory.
It's like an Avatar movie you'd be making right now, bro. So that's not a bad idea. That could.
They have to exist. If we're the benchmark, humans as a species,
we're the best ones.
We're the most evolved, most civilized, whatever you want to call it, fucking
Gangster.
things in the universe.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucked up. Like, I think, like the fact that we're the benchmark, I just don't believe that. Because there's even these whole theories. I don't know if you believe in them, but like we don't use 70% of our brain.
That's not true.
I know you've had to.
They used to. I heard.
Let's just go with it being.
I cannot because it's not true.
But just for the sake of my point,
sure.
Hypothetically, right?
Okay.
Let's say if that's actually true, then surely there's other beings out there with further capabilities.
Yeah, but you can't. Okay, I have to.
Big assumption.
Totally. Yeah. Okay, but hold on. But your assumption could be made with real facts because what you're trying to say is just purely that they are smarter. We do. They used to believe that we only use a certain percentage of our brain, but new research has come out, and I cannot quote it. I cannot retell it. Maybe even a little bit because I had a whiskey or two. But we are using our brain all the time. It's just that your active motion, like maybe like your physical motion, where you move. Hear me out. Where maybe you move and they record a reading in the brain. And they go, wow, you're only using this part to do everything, but the rest of it's not doing anything. Now they've figured out that this part of the brain actually is governing emotion. This part is governing maybe your hormones. It is all working together all the time, and we are using it, right? Maybe people...
I don't think that's the question. I think the question is, are we using it to its max potential?
Yes.
Think of it as a CPU. Do you understand what a CPU is in a computer? Yeah. So the power that the processing power that the computer has to do multiple tasks at once, basically, right?
Sure.
So if
okay.
you think of it in that sense, are we using our brain to its full capacity, which is who fucking knows?
Okay, but if we're going to break it down to this point, then what these people, if you're going to literally translate it to that, right? What some of these people I think are trying to say, which is where they lose me, right? Is because what you're basically saying is we've got all this brain, and we could, if we maybe maximized all the parts all at once, we could maybe do more complex things or more things at once that are more complex and actually achieve more, right? That's like saying, if you get a computer and it's got a CPU and it's a whole computer, it's like saying using the fan of the computer and learning how to use that for memory. Like, you tell the fan to store the fucking new game you got on it. You can't, because that's not what the fucking fan does. Hear me out, which is what I'm trying to say with the brain, is there's certain parts of the brain which do work in the sense you're saying tasks at once, achieving potential, everything, and maximizing all that, thinking, intelligence, IQ. There's a big chunk of the brain that governs that. But there are these parts of the brain that are purely focused on emotion. So therefore, you cannot get that part of the brain to work in the favor of doing more tasks. It purely is not designed for that.
That's what they're trying to do. There are parts of the brain though that they reckon never reach their full potential. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, you have emotion senses. You have there's all sorts of.
I don't think that's accurate
know the map
anymore.
of the brain.
Sure, I don't. But what I'm trying to say, you got to look that up again because that's not accurate anymore. Lee. I used to believe that as well.
I don't think. I think it's a different conversation what we're talking about, because it sounded to me, at least before anyway, that you're saying that the brain, every part of the brain isn't used. I do think every part of the brain is used, but I don't think it's all used to its max potential. I think its ceiling is higher than the use that we're using it for.
Why?
Because think of things like dreams. You know, you've had visions. I've witnessed your visions in the past. Like,
I've told the future in my dreams, and I told them to leave all that happened, and it came true.
How do you explain that shit if your brain isn't tapping into something that you don't experience on a day-to-day basis? How do you explain those? Because I stand by everything your visions. I've witnessed a couple of them. You know, I definitely stand by you on that.
A vision.
I personally can't explain it. You know, I think I've had similar experiences. I've never voiced them like you did at the time, but
Deja vu, some people call it.
Yeah, deja vu is another thing. Like, how do you explain that? Like, there's clearly some things going on, especially when we're not actually using our brain, like in our sleep. There clearly are different parts of the brain that we don't get to explore as freely as, you know, I want to see how creative I can be in this pure moment right now.
But to say that's okay, sure. There's a lot of these mysteries, right? And maybe this is me going off topic. I'm going to try not to here, but so we're talking about the brain and all that kind of stuff. But do you know genetic memory, cell memory, or DNA memory, something along the lines they call it like this, where it's like
muscle memory?
No, where your past ancestors had certain experiences and now they're actually passed down to you. One really, really fascinating one that I heard the other day, I believe it was off Joe Rogan. I couldn't believe it. It was so cool and it makes so much sense to me. Whether or not this is true, I don't know, but it makes sense to me where they say genetic memory through your experiences, through even evolution, where you used to live in forests and that, you remember certain things, right? And that's why people describe certain things to you. And the one they were pinpointing was kids. You know why kids, when they go to bed, say they see monsters and all that stuff? There's a monster under my bed. Oh, there's a monster coming to get me. I can see the big eyes in the dark and he's crawling towards me. You know what that is? That's when we used to live in the jungles and big cats would come and drag children off in the middle of the night. That's what they said. I'm not making this.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Plausible theory.
And that's what it was. And that's why now kids, because they've got that genetic memory.
So it's a natural, genetic memory
that's been passed down through the ages. It's just in your DNA. It's just, through the ages.
Humans are constantly on alert from predators.
So that's what it is that the kid monsters are there under the bed because these little massive cats were sneaking around, grabbing these children in the middle of the night when everyone was asleep, right? And they that's why kids now are scared of fucking going to bed at night and shit. Sorry, my phone's fucking...
As well though, I think there's a perfectly good way to just look at it in a more logical sense and say it's just shadows or wind moving the curtains at night or whatever it might fucking be in the room, you know?
Sure.
Also the fact that they may have watched cartoons or movies that... Monsters Inc., for example, is a perfect example of a kid's watching a movie that they then see something comes in and scares, and then they associate that whenever they see a weird shadow in the room.
Sure. The point is, Lee, these stories of kids and the monsters in their beds have been going on long before cartoons and Monsters Inc. was ever created.
But has it been going on long before storytelling, though? Because storytelling is obviously a thing that's been around since humans could communicate.
Sure, but storytelling, you don't scare the shit out of your kids.
Man,
and tell them,
think about
you don't tell your kids a story where you say, listen, when there was a kid in bed, there's a monster under it, fucking ate him. Go to bed.
All right. To rebuttal that, right? This isn't necessarily monsters. Ring Around the Rosies. You know that song? Ring around a rosy, a pocket full of toesies, a tissue, we all fall down. The nursery rhyme. I don't know.
It's English.
Maybe 100%. Maybe it wasn't something you got.
I know that.
That's a nursery rhyme, right? What do you think that's about?
I don't know.
The plague. People dropping dead from the plague. Ring around a rosy, a pocket full of toesies, a tissue, we all fall. Do
you know the rhyme? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
It's another one. It's
grab a.
What the original one was, yes.
Okay. I know.
But that's what I'm saying is...
Dark times exist in kids.
Exactly, and storytelling was always put in a very fucked up way towards children. You know, this is a nursery rhyme and it's literally about the thing that killed millions of people back whenever that took place, you know? So storytelling has always been creepy. And even if you look at religious books from back then, you know, they've always had like some of them anyway, have always had a very creepy chapters or very dark things being depicted, or, you know.
That may be true. I don't know. Again, I'm not claiming to know this, but I just thought it was a fun fact. Another one I thought that happened to me, right? And I ain't trying to claim any hot shit here, was that, as you know, I got my driver's license this year. I don't think I'm a very bad driver at all. I'm not trying to sound the best driver, but even one of my mates says to me, he goes, bro, you're one of the best parallel parkers I've seen, and even a lot of older people who have had their license for you, had their license a long time before you. And I was like, maybe that's what it is, that most of my family's been driving all the time. There's a bit of genetic memory that's just kicked in. That's a massive assumption because some people have that and they don't, I don't know.
But how genetic would it really be? You know, like when were cars first invented? 1920s?
That's true.
So
that's only a couple hundred. That's like
only a couple of generations of your family. You know, that's not exactly ancient fucking shit that's being passed
I'm making
down.
stuff up now. Okay. All right. While we're
Unless
making,
you want to say horse riding.
while we're making stuff up and we're on this fucking trippy shit, right? Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
I do, but I can't. It's where you believe something happened, but a story was told and everyone believes it was true, but it wasn't actually
Multiple
true.
people, and then
like
years
Mandela,
later.
the reason it's called a Mandela thing is because a lot of people believed he died in prison.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela, the former slave leader of South Africa, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm terrible with my history. I apologize. Great man. There was apparently a big group of people. When he was released from prison, said, "I swear he died," and they remember him dying. That he had died in prison a bunch of years ago. It was on the news. This and that. There was a bunch of things. If you could please Google it for me, that's the thing I want you to Google because I can't remember them all. Just Google Mandela effect and tell me a few different ones. I remember the other one that I don't know because I think it was an American thing is the Bernstein Bears are actually the Berenstein Bears, right? Basically what happens is your whole life growing up, you believe this one thing and then one day later, especially because of the internet, I think it could be solved simply because of the internet. And we just didn't look at it properly and we only got glimpses of it so we can never stare at it and figure it out and overlook it. But it's basically when these things change over time now. I've had one happen to me, right, Lee? What's the Looney Tunes one?
Yeah.
What's the Looney Tunes one?
So
the Looney Tunes one is, everyone thinks Looney Tunes is spelled LOONEY-TOONS. It's not. It's actually spelled Looney, TUNES. Tunes. Like, not cartoons, tunes as in like tuning
a guitar.
That's right. The one I got, Lee, and tell me if you remember this or if I'm fucking out of my mind, right? I remember, I don't know if it was from Mythbusters or from where the fuck it was or like whatever documentary, but I remember Daddy Longlegs has always been the only spider, or it wasn't even considered in the spider family, and it had 6 legs.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Daddy Longlegs to me were always a very skinny spider, and their venom was actually poisonous enough to kill you, but their fangs couldn't pierce our skin.
That's not true either. You know that, yeah? That was the Mythbusters episode. He literally got bitten. He did bite him, and his venom was all shit. Fuck Daddy Longlegs. Anyway, if anyone out there remembers that, can you please leave a comment? Because I think I'm losing my fucking mind. I swear I remember that the Daddy Longlegs wasn't actually a spider, it was more of an insect, and they only had 6 legs. And then I'm chilling around the work the other day, and I see an 8-legged Daddy Long-legged motherfucker, and I pull up the Google, all wrong, and I was like, really?
You might be the same as me though. Is a Daddy Longlegs in Europe different to what it is here in Australia?
I don't know, in Slovakia it's so cold, I've seen a spider once.
Because basically a Daddy Longlegs here is those really thin spiders, right, with a very slight bulb as their butt, I guess, right? But in the UK, they're very similar in like stature, I guess, but they're almost see-through as well. In Scotland and England, anyway, that's what I'm talking about.
You guys be having invisible spiders.
Yeah, I don't know if that's if they are the same species. I'm not a fucking arachno, whatever the fuck people who study those guys, but yeah, to me, Daddy Longlegs, when an Australian says it, I don't think the same thing they're thinking in a sense, because I think of what I experienced in the UK.
Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there in case anyone remembers the same shit as me. I believe I'm having my own Mandela effect. There's a glitch in the Matrix, or I'm just fucking losing it slowly. Either's okay. I'm happy with all. I just thought I'd bring it up. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about that I wanted to bring up last time, we always talk about political correctness, I guess, and stuff. We're going to start a new segment, actually. We mentioned this last time on the now deleted by this fucking camera podcast.
Is it that, or is it the one we haven't uploaded yet?
No, we've uploaded them all.
Have you?
Whatever. Yes. Except for the deleted one that the camera deleted. I don't know how to stare into and not fucking lose my shit. You just keep the camera. Relax. But see, Lee's angry at the camera too. It's okay. I know. I almost want to give him a hug. That was a hard night. We sat there and almost cried and hugged each other for 2 hours.
It was rough.
It was fucked up. We did so well, and I'm telling you, if it gets deleted again, I'm throwing the camera out the window. We talked about this last time. I want to bring it out before it's irrelevant, because we were talking about political correctness. We are going to start a segment. The segment's going to be called "Is This Racist?" Because I don't think, well, sometimes I get confused. I'm not trying to be racist. Hey, I ain't throwing out the N-word out there or anything like that, but fuck. Sometimes I'm like, really? I didn't mean to say anything.
I think it's worth pointing out this isn't always going to be racist themed things.
It's going to be
prejudice or
discriminatory.
We like the
discriminations.
Yeah, but we like the name is this racist.
So. Is this racist? Are you allowed to do this? So the first one we've got isn't even about to do with racism. We're going to do it anyway, which is, I ain't gay. Is it okay to say, no, I ain't gay? Now,
let's put it in context.
We'll put it in context. Before we put it in context, I brought this up to Baz. You guys fucking know, did my fucking head in, right? So I brought it up to the motherfucker. I go, do you find this offensive, right? He's got his own ways, a little bit lefty sometimes, so good, I love him. I said, do you find, if I said to you, right, no, if you said to me, will you wear these pants? I go, no, I ain't gay. Would you find that offensive? And Baz would go, I would be highly offended. And I said, Baz, why? But like, you're not even gay. Why would you care? Like, is there a relative here or something? I'm not trying to, why would you care if I said that? And he goes, because that is not correct fucking English. You do not say I am. You say I am not. And I looked at him like, you fucking missing the point here, bro. I'm trying to do a real little thing here. Anyway, we got through it anyway. We'll hear his answer next time. I ain't gay. To say, like I said, you have a t-shirt? I'm saying, I ain't gay. No, I'm all good. You know? It's like if you had a masculine guy. You had a big old masculine guy. He's wearing t-shirts with dumbbells on him. Would you wear a dumbbell t-shirt, Lee?
Me personally, no.
No?
No. I have no association with it.
You're not shooting roids?
No.
Lee's not shooting roids. You don't need a dumbbell t-shirt, all right? You don't need a kettlebell t-shirt. You don't need no I do push-ups t-shirt. It's a, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you necessarily call it being mean if you say no. Or what was the other example I had last time? It wasn't I ain't gay, but it was the other one. Fuck, I can't remember now. Even the whole, but this is the thing, this is the funny thing. Even when we were kids, we didn't use that's gay as like a derogatory thing against gay people. We came up in a time where everyone, like in our high school, when they didn't like something or whatever, they're like, that's gay. But it meant like, that's not what I like. That's all what it meant.
Yeah.
That's literally what we
slang.
meant.
It was slang, and it wasn't used to target the...
Yeah. If I could break it down to us trying to be the most innocent little kids that we definitely fucking were not, right? That is all we fucking meant when we said, nah, that's gay. Literally meant, no, that's not what I like. Just like, you know, if you don't like fucking women, I guess you could say, well, no, I ain't straight. But I guess that doesn't hit home as hard. I don't know what the point is. We're going to come up with a segment. We're usually going to do it with Baz as well, or any other guests we have. So I just want to ask, what do you think? If you were to say to someone, if you were to say to someone, they try to hand you something, you want a mango fruit smoothie, you want a little umbrella in there, no, I ain't gay. Is it so bad? Are we gonna hate each other here over words?
You know what I hate as well? Like, let's say me and you were at a shop, to use your example, buying a fucking smoothie, and we said that towards ourselves. You know, I said, oh, do you want to get your little fucking umbrella in there? And you went, no, I ain't gay. Let's say there was someone behind who wasn't gay, and they piped up just because we said that. That's the shit that really fucks me off. You know, why are you getting involved in, like, you know, we're just talking amongst ourselves, making a joke. You don't know us. You don't know us personally. What the joke's meant to fucking do.
Yeah, no, that person definitely shut the fuck up.
You know what I mean? And there's examples of people like that who now, because these things
Has it happened to you before?
No, but I know it's happened to you. To talk about your example when you were walking down the street with your girlfriend. It's a different subject.
It did happen to me once in Newtown, and I was like, is this really...
It's happened to me, but I can't think of an example.
I'll give you a quick example before we move on here. I'm going to stay a little bit on the gay stuff before we move on, right? But I was walking once in Newtown with a girlfriend, and we were having a bit of an argument. We got off the train or whatever, you know. It was a simple fucking argument. It could have been as simple as who's going shopping, where's the money at, this and that. Like, just, we weren't organised at the moment, so we're having a bit of a back and forth, you know. And we get to the intersection, a lot of people around, and this lesbian looking like hippie girl comes up to my girlfriend, notices we're having an argument, steps in between me and her, and says to my girlfriend, are you okay? Do you need help? Totally ignoring me, right? And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Well, you know, like, who's gonna buy the bread here? And then luckily, thank God my girlfriend, she's the best. She said the funniest thing. She just looked at the chick and she goes, can you fuck off, please? And it was hilarious. It was the best argument over instantly. That was the best argument solving thing. There should be more lesbians doing that, maybe. But it was fucking hilarious. But I was like, really? Beware of the new towns.
I'm all for recognizing a situation that clearly is going in a very negative way and stepping in, but like in an
You've got to
example,
be careful. Man.
I'm talking about this is a totally different extreme, and this is where I'm saying it's okay. I once was going to work at my old job, got off the bus. A school kid got off the bus who was clearly by himself, right?
You told me this once. Lee solved a rape,
bro. There was an older sort of, hate to say it, kind of junky looking guy. And he literally, the kid was Asian, right? And this kid is like this guy is white Caucasian. Grabs his hand as we're coming off the bus and almost as if to try and lead him somewhere. Luckily, the kid pulls away and kind of feels weird. And I kind of tap the kid on the shoulder. I'm like, yo, are you okay? And the kid's kind of like clearly shaken up. And I was like, look, I'll walk with you. Let's just walk. We'll walk forward.
Maybe 7 lives.
The guy went a completely different way, but clearly he was trying to take the kid or lead him somewhere or do God knows fucking what. You know, your mind can roam to whatever situation you want there, but clearly I think that's where it was going.
Can we get you into some jiu-jitsu, please? So next time you can fucking answer people here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quick arm bar.
And the kid was just on his way to school, you know. Clearly his parents were working, so they couldn't actually take him. He was old enough to be taking a bus, you know, so he was taking a bus, but someone tried to fucking steal the kid. And
motherfuckers, bro.
That shit clearly happens, man. It's fucked. I can't remember what that was actually tying into.
Well, because I was saying with my girlfriend, like, again, we're jumping all over the place here from the...
Yeah, right. I was saying, like, it's okay to jump
with kids,
in
it's always
situations.
Okay. But listen, what do you do with this? What do you do with this? You see a dad hitting his kid. You gonna jump in? You hit the dad and the kid starts screaming for you to get off his dad. It's very complicated, man.
In today's day and age, I think it is the sort of thing that people would expect you to stand in.
You can't.
I know, but like you say, it's very convoluted. But at the same time,
you're gonna beat the dad up in front of his kid?
No, you don't. That's escalating it. You don't beat him up, but you subdue him, I think.
And then what?
Call the police. Let them handle it from there.
The thing that they went from having a bad day at the ice cream shop to dad's in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
But if that's happening and happening in public,
look, there's levels to it.
No, but dude, think about it this way: if that's happening in public, what's happening at home? Because behind closed doors is always worse than not behind closed doors.
Sure.
So if that's happening in public and the guy's willing to beat his son up or daughter
there's levels. We've got to talk about levels.
Of course there are levels.
Yeah, quick slap, fucking go for it. If you're gonna fucking just fucking jabbing the kid.
Yeah. But I assume we're not talking about, you know, just the...
We got to talk about specific situations. This is the problem with all this kind of stuff. We all want to put a fucking blanket over it and it's black and white, and it's clearly not. It's all different situations, different levels, different things, different scenarios. It's not that simple. I really do believe you got to look at each individual fucking thing and make your mind up, man. Was the kid being a little shit? Did he tell him twice? Did he accidentally fall as his knee crushed the kid's skull? I don't know. You know what I mean? I wasn't there. I get it. If he's there just fucking beating the crap out of his kid, maybe step in, but, you know.
Well, that's the extreme my mind went to when you brought up the example.
Yeah. My thing was with the women as well. Like, hey, man, if I see some guy hitting a woman, I'm going to say something, but it gets complicated because now you're going to fight that guy. And I've heard crazy stories, right? I've heard it, whether it was on podcasts or not, wherever I heard it. I've heard crazy stories of like there was a guy and his wife arguing, or his girlfriend arguing or whatever, and he went and slapped her. So this guy stepped in and goes, man, you can't hit women like that. Now all of a sudden he's fighting both of them because like the guy's like, shut the fuck up. And the guy's like, yeah, shut up, motherfucker. Who are you? We're having our private argument. You know what I mean? Like it's complicated.
Of course it's complicated. Okay.
Lee, you just want to be like Superman saving everyone here, and it's not working. All right, you're endangering people.
When did I say I wanted to save people?
If Lee approaches to save a situation, could you please tell him to fuck off? You can do without him.
My capital L on my fucking shirt. Let me help you.
Let me help. That's his costume. Let me.
Doesn't stand for Lee. It sounds like let me help.
Let me help. Dickhead.
No, but I've heard, right, to tail onto that, right. I've heard of, I won't name people, right, but
can we name people for a change?
Not in this.
We'll put them on Facebook. We'll tag them.
But I've heard of an example. I know someone who's walked past an alleyway and seen a man beating the absolute shit out of a woman. Man is huge. Clearly looks like
a Samoan.
It's not here. It's not in Australia. I'll give you that, but. It's the sort of thing where it's like if you can see that there isn't a physical way to overpower and subdue the man, if you don't feel like you know enough to be able to do that, then what do you do?
You sign up for jiu-jitsu the next day.
That's okay. That's a thing you could do after, but in that moment, what do you do? Because a lot of people would say, "Oh, you walked past and didn't fucking help."
Well, you make a choice. You make a choice to risk your life, or you walk away a coward. Or it's I don't mean to.
There's different. There's
levels.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
could call
Do you
authorities,
have friends with you? Is a mobile near you? Can you get the guy to Can you outrun the guy? Get him to just run after you for a little bit. Do you even want to endanger yourself? Is the woman a bitch? No one should hit a woman. No one should hit
anyone.
No one should hit anyone ever. We should all be out there having a good time. Sorry, I apologize. I should never have said that. That's a terrible thing to say. It's stupid. No one should hit a fucking woman, bitch or not. Some of these women, they roll you up, bro. I've been rolled up too, but you do not punch a fucking woman. It's just not on, man. Alright? It's ridiculous. There's plenty of reasons to sometimes, like the great Bill Burr joke. There's reason you don't fucking do it. You know? And the reason is, again, I'm just trying to make jokes here. It's not real. You never fucking hit a woman, or I will fucking personally hit you. You know the Bill Burr joke? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Never hit a woman. You're working all day, you're making all the money, buying a big house. Meanwhile, she's fucking the neighbor. She throws you out, now you got to sleep on a fucking empty apartment on a futon, paying all her bills. No reason to hit a woman. Just jokes, making jokes here. Watch F is for Family. Great show on Netflix. Fuck. Everyone's so serious. This is everyone's forgiveness. And Jesus, get some Odin in you, man. Valhalla, let's go. Get the fucking axe. Can people hold an axe for 10 minutes? You know people meditate? Don't meditate. Just grab a fucking axe.
Feel your ancestors.
Sit there. Sit there, imagining throwing it at another human being. Don't do it. Just, what it might feel like. And the smile that would come on. I'm getting fucking crazy now. Anyway. We're talking about some stuff. Mandela effect I brought up. Anyway. From the last podcast, like I said, I want to mention this real quick before it's old news. This maybe ties into the gay thing a little bit. I'm trying to keep this structural as much as I can, or a bit rusty because we're a few weeks off, but it was the Prison Break. Yeah. Prison Break used to be a show that was cancelled. Then it was revived this year, and then it was also cancelled this year. The reason why it was cancelled is because the main actor, the guy who... Can you Google the actor for me, please, so I know this guy's fucking name?
Which one? Oh yeah, I know.
You know the one? Yeah, we'd almost had jokes there, but we're gonna be serious. Okay, Lee knows what I'm talking about. So, it got revived, and the whole original cast was back on to continue the series, make it better, do the rest of
Wentworth Miller.
Wentworth Miller. My brother. Wentworth Miller, right? It's a gay man. All respect, but he's a gay man. He's a gay man. There's no problem. Why are you laughing when I say he's a gay man?
You said it was a gay name.
I said it was a gay man.
Oh, I heard a gay name.
It's not a gay name.
Sorry, okay.
It's a bit of a gay name too. If we're gonna, I'll entertain Lee's thing he said. Gay name, gay man. Prison Break.
I feel like he's got two last names.
Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, people
he does. Wentworth.
Yeah.
What did you call him? Went?
Yeah. Going?
Yeah, that's so annoying.
Nickname.
Went to the shop. Oh, that'd be so. Went to the shop. Anyway, they were going to bring back the show. They had apparently the best script of all time for TV. It was going to be better than Lord of the Rings. I'm making this up. And he decided to cancel it, Wentworth Miller, quote unquote, because he's a gay man and he only wants to play gay people from now on. Can you Google the word acting for me so we know what acting is? Because I don't think people know what English is anymore. How are you only going to play gay people? You're going to do gay movies.
What, you want the definition? Yeah.
Acting. What does acting mean? Please, I would like to know what fucking acting is as a definition.
The art or, well, noun, the art or occupation of performing fictional roles in plays, films, or television. Adjective, temporarily doing the duties of another person.
I like both. I'm going to go first with temporarily doing the duties of another person. Okay? You were trying to be anti-discriminatory, right? because of pressures before hostile things that were put on gay people, which I do not condone. I think it's disgusting. I like gay people. I like everyone. I've said this multiple times. I don't think I have to keep saying it because I think my fucking head's gonna explode. Okay, I love everyone.
We shouldn't have to protect ourselves.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to fucking pre-warn before I say some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I like gay people. I like everyone. Everyone's my friend, unless you're not my friend because you're a bit of a cunt. That's okay. We can love you too. Give you a hug. How about that? You get a free hug. It's Christmas. We got a tree with Harry Potter and big lights. I think, and I'm going to be a bit controversial here if I can, I'm going to try to poke the bear. He's trying to be anti-discriminatorial by standing up and supporting his kind. Shouldn't say his kind because we're all humans, that's our kind, but his gay
minority.
people.
Yeah.
They're minority. Thank you, Lee, for giving me more political correct terms, which I could use on this lovely thing. So he's trying to be anti-discriminatory, and then in acting where you're taking the duties of another person, temporarily performing the duties of another person, fictitiously, you're discriminating because you will only do it for gay people.
I think there's two ways to look at this.
Who's discriminating now? No, there's one way and I just said it.
I think there is. I think you can look at it the way he's doing it, right? He's doing it because he wants to clearly make his feelings known about what he's acting. You know, he wants to portray himself.
He wants to be gay. He is gay.
He's limited at it. The what's it called? Consequence of his actions is he's now limiting his roles, which, to back up your point, acting is being something that you're not, playing something that's different to what you are.
Correct.
So,
and didn't we say this one time that what's the most challenging role for an actor? The one
something that is completely different.
Yeah, and we defined this last time as saying, trying to, probably wrongfully so, defend some sorts of blackface where people play people of different cultures. Is that not the most challenging thing? Like when Homeboy, that actor who was, what's his name? The best way I can tell you is this, is Iron Man 3, he played the fake terrorist bad guy, and he played Gandhi. Forget his name, maybe Google that for me. You know what I'm talking about?
Bill fucking...
whatever your fucking name is. He played Gandhi, right?
Watch it not be Bill.
It's like Ben, I think.
Yeah, Ben.
Something with Ben. Anyway, Homeboy played Gandhi. You know why? If you fucking think he did it to try and be racist, I think you're fucking kidding yourself. He did it to try and challenge himself in acting. He tried to portray someone.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, thank you, Lee. I was right with the Ben, Lee with the Kingsley. He's not trying to be fucking racist by playing Gandhi, dude. Listen, if he played Gandhi and made Gandhi look like a fucking retard and like a scumbag, I'd be with you. I'd be like, fuck Ben Kingsley ruining Gandhi. And I think Gandhi's the best guy in the world anyway. I've got a few stories I can tell you about Gandhi my fucking self. Anyway, I'm sure he did a lot of great things. I'm sorry, no disrespect. I love you guys. How's that racist? I don't think it is. I think he's challenging himself. So I think this guy, Wentworth Miller, I think he's fucking limiting himself.
He's limiting himself. He has, look, what I meant we have two ways to look at this. He has every right to choose what kind of roles he wants to take, right? Free of judgment, I think. But what he's doing is limiting himself. He's basically saying, I don't want to play anyone unless they're gay or whatever pronouns you want to use.
Now you're being discriminatory, though. Remember how I always said that?
I don't think it's being discriminatory.
I think it's picking sides. You're saying, well, I'm on this side.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. If a whatever the correct term is for, please fucking excuse me if I'm wrong with this. If a black person was to say, I only want to play roles where I am African American or purely just African, I don't think that would be racist.
Good luck getting a job in an English movie, dickhead.
100%. You're limiting yourself. You're limiting. You've now lessened your spectrum. But at the same time, it's standing up for a cause that he feels he needs to.
Oh damn! I'm showing my fat.
And whether or not you support that, I'm not saying you don't support that, but whether or not that's what you want to watch is a different topic. He has every right, as an actor, just like you on this podcast, you have every right to talk about what you want to talk about, Because
of my podcast.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. He has every right to choose. He tries to choose the roles that he wants to do. He has every right to do that, but he's limiting himself. If he now only wants to play queer characters, fair enough. your roles might diminish. They might increase because now it's such a broad thing that people are so aware of. Maybe they are going to start making heaps of movies about these kinds of people. I guess,
yeah, look, I think you can do whatever you want, fucking Wentworth Miller. Good luck to you, bro. Do you think? Best of luck. I thought Prison Break wasn't bad. I was actually.
I think what the shame about it is the fact that the show had originally been going in whatever way it was for, I don't know, let's say 7 seasons. I don't fucking know how many seasons it's been going, but now he clearly wants to change the direction of it. That's, I think, if it was a fresh show where he was coming out and just being like, this is what I want to do from now on, fair enough, cool. But now that you're changing the dynamic of something that personally I didn't like, but other people may have loved, and now you're completely changing, and you're not only are you changing it, you're basically laying the hammer down and saying, I won't do it unless this is how it's done, sort of thing. That's where I guess it's all you can. It can be seen as a bit of a power trip.
It's just a little bit gross. You know, the other one I didn't like, just to bring up while we're on this subject, was that guy with Sam Smith. You know how
singer?
Yeah. Do you know about him? No. No. I'm trying to call him a him. He wants to be referred to as a they. He's non-binary.
What does that mean, personally?
That means you have to call him they. I don't know, man.
So
confused. Why do I get in trouble?
So if he was in a room with us right now and we were talking about him, we would have to say they did this rather than he or she did this.
Shawn Mendes, the other singer.
That's a plural fucking word. It doesn't make sense.
Correctly. Shawn Mendes publicly apologized to Sam Smith because he accidentally called him a he in an interview. And while he was praising him, I love him, he's great. Oh, I didn't realize I should have said they. Sam, can you fucking settle down, please? I get that you need attention, but no one's trying to stop you from being you.
Yeah, don't take it so personally.
Don't take it so personally, number one. And
the world has been used to certain circumstances since the beginning of human fucking interaction.
Don't make sure puppets that you get a special title now. What's the fucking problem, dude? Everyone's got respect. We'll call you whatever name. Like, again, there was the other one, Ellen Page.
Who's now Elliot Page.
Yeah. Shawn, maybe, and Shawn Mendes, maybe that was the Elliot Page one now. One of those. Excuse me, I got my facts all fucking...
No, she's asking... he's now asking to be called he or they. It said her pronouns were now he and they. Which I don't understand, but to be fair, I don't know enough about why they want to be called they. I can understand why he wants to be called he now.
I get it.
But at the same time, I look at it as well from...
Why is it so important?
I look at it from a birth certificate point of view. You were born as this. If I call you that, it's not because I'm disrespecting you by being that. I'm calling you that because that's how you might appear, and that's how, in a logical sense of what the world used to be maybe 2 years ago, that's what you are. And if you're now telling me you want to be called something different, fair enough, walk into the room and say that to me, but am I going to wholeheartedly support that when in all honesty, like...
Even then it's very... sorry to keep going, finish your thought.
It's hard to support that when logic to me says you were born one way, right? And if you change what your sex is or whatever from that moment forth, in my eyes, you were still that and now you're this. So why is it wrong to refer to you as the former unless I'm doing it in a derogatory way?
Yeah, no one's there.
If I accidentally say, oh, she did this, I shouldn't have to stumble over my words and feel all bad about fucking, oh fuck, I now fucked up and all these people are going to get on my back.
Especially, just to interject, especially if besides me saying that, I've sat here and being civil with you, and the whole time I've been nice, giving you drinks, we've been having nice conversations, and then I accidentally say she, and then you have a fucking massive cry about it, and now it's weird, awkward, and you might throw wine at me. Okay? That's what I'm not down for. That's what I don't fucking get. And why is that? What I said before, and I was sorry I did interrupt you, Lee, but why is it so important? Especially, this is my thing. You want to be Elliot DeGeneres, I apologize, dead name.
Elliot Page, Ellen DeGeneres are two different.
Oh yeah, oh Jesus Christ. That whiskey's good, Lee. You know what I'm saying? We be celebrating holidays. I got my own private bartender up in this bitch. Oh, the microphone fell. Too bad they're fake anyway. We got wires and shit. We ain't recording nothing, bro.
No, we are.
Oh, I thought it was fake the whole time. Cheers to me. Woo. Yeah. Elliot Page. If you're happy, you're with your partner that you like, who I believe is a woman from looking at her. I'm sorry for assuming their gender, but I assume they were born female because it looks like fucking one. Okay, you're with the female, you're happy. I assume the people around you that you have in your life now, you are happy with. Why is it so important that you need to walk into a room now and get people to call you what you need them to, what you feel is right to you, what you are? You've reinvented yourself and they need to respect.
And if that's the case, what's to stop me from walking into the room and saying, I now want to be called a god?
Correct.
I now want to be Lord fucking Habishaw.
Look at me. I am Odin now. I am Odin now, okay? And you are my little bullshit, okay? We can't just be making this stuff up. And again, the reason I think for lack of a better word, get away with it. Again, if you do hear this, Elliot Page, Sam Smith, any of you people, which are dead, you fucking will, because who am I? And you are someone.
We're all someone, dude. Everyone's someone.
We're all someone. What was it saying about that? What I wanted them to hear is just, like, it's okay, man. You know, just, I completely lost my point there, Lee. What was it saying?
I don't think to you, why is it such a big deal?
Why is it such a big deal? Why can't we especially, like I said,
if it's an honest mistake, you know, if you come into the room and saying to me in a very polite manner, hey, like, I've never met you before, I know I might appear one way, I would like you to refer to me as this way. Honestly, I might be a bit like, okay, but at the same time, I'm like, well, fair enough, whatever.
I'd be like, why?
Fair enough.
I don't know. I'll call you by the names, the different names, just the pronouns they get me.
It's fair to question. There's nothing wrong with questioning. People will take questioning as a personal attack, but there's nothing wrong with people wanting to know reasoning.
My thing is, like, have you heard of biology? Like, we have biology.
That's what I mean. Thinking of it in a logical sense. In a biological sense, you were born as an X or a Y.
That's it, man. And that's the way I always said, before we leave the subject, is that that's how they should do the sports thing. I don't mind trans people. My whole big thing with the trans thing, which is why I don't like these pronouns, right, is I accept trans people. Do your thing, man. Let your freak flag fly. Make it happen, bro. Get some titties. Get a titties and a dick. Whatever, man. If that's what you want to do. Lee did that on that new video game, Cyberpunk. He's got a trans character. Lee's playing as a trans himself. He's got some things he wants to do in his life. We'll see how he goes in the next 20 years. Here's the thing though, man. This is where
titties pending.
That's right, man. We're saving up like 20G, bro. You know, we can't just get them overnight. Can someone please sponsor the podcast here, please, so Lee can get a nice set of titties? We're trying to make his fucking dreams come true here. This is my thing with the trans thing. Before we leave the subject, this is why I don't get the pronouns right. Is the way I see it is, if I'm trying to understand logically, which I will, because these are people, and then I try and get them. I put myself in their shoes, empathy, the rest of it. Is if you're a man and you feel like you're born in the wrong body, or a woman, vice versa, whatever, and you feel like you should have been born a female, something with the chemistry they got fucked up, and then you transition, you're swapping genders. You're quite literally swapping pronouns. You're saying, I'm in the wrong one, I need the other one. Binary, because there's two. I wrong, this one right. Good, flip coin. Heads, tails. Fuck me. You know what I'm saying? That's where I get lost. It's just like, people know, actually, I'm neither. Oh, fuck, what are you then? I'm a Z. You're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I really don't mean to be rude. And I apologize to anyone going through this kind of stuff. I love you guys, man. I really do. My heart goes out. I'm sorry, but I just don't get it, dude. I'm sorry. Maybe that's my bad. I'm
with you, man. I mean, we mean no offense in what we're saying. We mean no derogatory terms towards anyone of any gender, ethnicity, whatever you want to label yourself. But, like, there are only two in biological senses. Yes, you can transition between the two, but that doesn't change the fact of what you originally were. The only difference is now what you are. But what you were, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to filling out a fucking passport application, you should be putting down what you were born as.
That's right. That's right.
If I have an alias, a different name, on the passport application, you can see there is clearly the option to put in, you have an alias, but this was your original name.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even with the whole gender thing is with the sports gender thing, where now you got big men beating the shit out of people, females in MMA.
Yeah, you've got that. Hey,
you know what? I heard a great solution, which I agree with, is they don't do males versus males and females versus females.
They do transitions versus transition.
No, they do chromosome versus chromosome. If you're born XY, you have to fight XY, even if you're now a man or a girl.
I'm for that's cool. I'm for the fact that as well that you can have. So males should compete against males, females should compete against females. But if you've got a male that's transitioned to a female, there should be a separate category for that. He should not now be allowed to fight or play sport in the same category as the females who were born females. Because there are clear differences between the male and female anatomy and strengths and weaknesses that can be worked on, and not everyone's got the same body. I get that, everyone's a little bit different, but there are clear differences between the anatomy of our genders as a human species. Hugely. And they can be used to an advantage if you're fighting against the opposite gender.
That's our take on the trans this week. We'll get back to it. I want to talk a bit more about that. I agree with you there, Lee. But we love you guys too. You know what I mean?
I love everyone. Man.
Yeah, man.
Love everyone who's down to be respectful.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to be a dickhead, then fuck you.
Yeah,
if people want to be respectful, we're all for it.
That's right. Just real quick while we're talking about fighting, you mentioned fighting. You see Ronaldo watches UFC over soccer. Did you hear him say that?
Yeah. Well, I saw you send the thing.
How good is that? Fucking the greatest soccer player in the world watches fights. You know,
you can put an interesting spin on it though. The greatest soccer player doesn't watch soccer. Why? Because he's the greatest. Everything else is boring because
soccer.
No, obviously the world likes soccer, seeing as it's the world game.
Christ, these people.
Hey, I love a lot of sports. I love all sorts of sports. I love the sport that I know you're sticking up for right now.
Listen,
but at the same time,
I think I figured it out.
He's the greatest or one of the two greatest ever. So clearly watching soccer would be boring for him when he's like, I would do this, I would do that. But he loves
okay, hold on. I've got a few points here, but okay, so if we're saying that, I understand where you're coming from. Would you say then one of the best UFC fighters or martial artists wouldn't watch another high-level contest? I think it'd be the opposite. He would, because he'd watch for new tricks. He'd watch for new techniques. He'd watch these great new martial artists. And what I'm trying to touch on here, I think I figured it out right, is you know how I don't like sport? I fucking despise sport. Dude, I nearly fucking threw up the other day. I was running past the golf course again. These fucking people. Dude, they don't even carry their golf clubs anymore. They've got these pram-looking things. There's grown men walking around with prams for their golf clubs. This is fucking embarrassing. Can you get a golf cart, please? And someone to drive them around at least with the golf carts in the back, prams.
It's always been a thing. It's not a new thing.
That's
golf. That's the culture of that sport. Look, the reason I think...
Can you at least carry something heavy to the next hole, please?
Golf is played majority by people in middle age to whatever you call after middle age. You know, like... Anyway,
Listen, if I get to my mid-40s and I develop a love for my golf, you know what I'm going to do? Fucking kill myself. Because I'm not going to be out there dragging a pram around.
It's not your thing, that's fair enough.
Oh my Jesus
But
Christ.
look, the reason I think he has said what Ronaldo has said, why he watches it over. Dude, UFC is more exciting. When you look at it in a sense of, it's the ultimate level. It's called Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Not only that,
it's the ultimate level of competition you can have.
But not only that, I think I figured it out. So we're talking like I was saying, I don't watch sport. I despise sport. I don't know why. I said
you see it as a corporate entity. And
no. Actually, it's not because of the corporate entity thing so much at all. That's the cherry on the cake. Because the UFC is a corporate entity. The UFC does that. The UFC,
massively.
You could even say rips off some fighters. You know, some of the top fighters
happens in every sport.
Listen, some of the beginners and the fighters get paid $3,500 for a fight. In the UFC, the top you're like, are you fucking serious? You don't
$3,500.
Yeah, you don't even give them 10 grand. Like just 10.
Wait, what level fighters are we talking about?
Dude, UFC, like main card,
top 10 rank,
main card. If they're unknown, UFC is all about popularity.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny because but you know what I'm saying. You could be a crazy technical, really good fighter, winning all your matches. If you're not popular, you ain't getting money.
But dude, it's to put it into soccer terms, right? You've got the Premier League, which is 20 teams, right? The highest level teams, the top 6, they're all making hundreds of thousands of dollars a week, but there are some teams that have fucking people that work second jobs that are vets, that are doctors.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, there you go, there you go.
110%. You
That
do like it's not just because they're in that 20 teams of the highest level competition doesn't mean they're all raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So they're both corporate.
Yeah.
So they're both corporate. So they both do the same thing, which we can agree that they underpay the thing. My thing, right, which I finally figured it out in terms that maybe I can explain where I always struggled with before trying to tell people is, my thing with most sports is that it's a fucking game. That's all it is. It's a game. We've got rules. Soccer, you cannot touch the ball with your hands. You can maybe headbutt it, shins, this, that. You cannot hurt the other person. No contact sport. You get it.
It's a contact sport.
Okay, it's a contact sport, whatever. Okay, sorry, I don't know the rules of fucking soccer here. Okay?
No, it's a common misconception, but yeah.
Whatever, sure, okay. I'm sorry, fucking contact sport, okay. Alright. Anyway,
it's just not punching in the head.
Yeah, because they're fucking pussies. And they dive because they're fucking pussies. The point is it's a game where it's like, you got to get the ball in this net and you get a point. And the person with the most points wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's a sport, but it's a game. And it's the fact that it's a game that I just do not give a fuck about. I'm like, you got a sport, you got a point? Congratulations, cunt. Go fucking sit down, have a rest. Let me finish real quick.
Okay.
The difference with it is, right, is we've got a sport that's a game. When we've got the UFC or we've got MMA, we've got a sport, but it's a fucking fight. It's a fight. You're trying to hurt each other. You're trying to kill each other. And whether it's a sport or not, it is a sport in the terms of points and the rest of it.
Exactly.
But it's a fight. It's not a game.
But it is. But you have fighters out there who look at it as a calculative process and are literally like, I have to do these things that will get me this many points to win the fight. Especially fighters who are fighting someone who is clearly got a higher strength or bigger. So it becomes technical in that sense, and it becomes about the point scoring system.
I agree with everything you've just said, okay? 100%. Tonight, Paul Gallen is fighting Mark Hunt, and that's how he plans to win, is I'm pretty sure last him out the 6 rounds, get the points to win, and outlast a UFC fighter as a former rugby player in a boxing match, right? Mm-hmm. What he's doing in my mind, this is on my mind, I could be wrong. In my mind, you're right. It's all sports, and he's using the sport aspect of what's going on to his advantage.
Yeah.
But it's a fight, Lee. It's still a fight. They're still punching each other in the head and hurting each other. Whereas when you've got a sport like soccer, where there's still rules and they use everything. That's why in soccer they use everything to their advantage, like diving on the floor.
Okay.
When they can, hold on, let me finish. When they can get that to work in their advantage, they can, and they do that.
Do people not do that in UFC? Obviously, it's a different.
Not as much.
They put their toes in the cage,
and the guy tells them to get out. Yeah, but the guy tells them.
That's a perfect example.
But I'm not trying to say that people don't cheat in the UFC. That's not my point. I'm just hold on. Hear me out. Okay. All I'm trying to say is everyone in both these things, like the people in the UFC with their toes in the cage, they're using advantage of the sport to try and get leverage when that's an illegal move. Like the people diving, it's an illegal move, so they're using the sport to gain points and win the contest. That's the sport aspect. However,
but you would lose points from putting your toes in the cage if it was pulled up, right?
But if you use your toes to get extra leverage and snap his arm, you win the thing. Which is why these people, which is why the people dive so they can get a penalty shot from close to get a point to win the sport.
Yeah.
Which is the sport, which is what I'm trying to say to you. But the difference in my mind still, which I cannot separate, is they're both sports. I do not disagree with you a single thing there, and that people use the points, the technicalities, the whole thing to their advantage. However, one is a game, whether it's soccer, tennis, golf. These are all games. That's all they are. But this is still a fight. It is no matter. It's still a sport, but it's still a fight. You don't have to agree. But that's the way I see it.
I'm not saying. I'm trying to look at it from your point of view.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying.
I'm trying to look at it, and yes, in a literal sense, it obviously is a fight. But for me, right, games like Arsenal playing their biggest rival isn't just a game anymore. It's not just two teams showing up and trying to see who wins. It's about bragging rights. It's about fucking, being able to say, rubbing your face in it. You
get into it.
So it's all about that, and those kinds of games do become more physical. They do become a battle. You go from having let's say an average of 4 slide tackles a game to having fucking 20, and now suddenly you're getting yellow cards and red cards.
But again, in my mind, I agree. Again, I agree with all of this. What you're saying is correct. From what I can agree with, but even when you're saying it there, you're saying it becomes like the biggest game. It becomes a rougher game. It becomes a more physical game. But listen to you saying it. It's a game. It's still a game. Whereas when you have a champion,
a physical element though. That's
fine. I'm not arguing the physical. I'm not arguing the physical. A sport and soccer and some of these games are plenty physical. I'm not denying that they're physical. I'm not trying to say that either.
So what are you trying?
My point is simple, and it's so simple in my mind. I don't know. I'm not trying to say I don't know why I can't explain it to you, but in my mind it's just so simple, so black and white. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's the fact that one is a fight. And it's human nature, and it's a fight. It's a thing we do. It's in our DNA.
Yeah,
and
I'll
they're
agree with that.
they're trying to bet a man here or bet a woman. We're fighting. You're gonna tap. I'm gonna knock you out. It's a fucking fight. We're here to hurt each other, and we're here to get done.
But at the same time, they're not there to kill each other.
I didn't say that.
But that's where I guess it's levels again. It's levels.
It is. But. It's also, to me, in my mind, again, just in my mind, it's a black and white. This is a game, and I'm not saying you can't have one of the most physical, rough, and entertaining rivalries in any of these sports, whether it's soccer, tennis, the rest of it, where you watch it, where people who get into this cannot take their eyes off, and they're like, oh my God, I can't. For me, the reason I cannot get into those things purely is because I couldn't give a fuck about your game.
That's totally fit. That's the same reason I don't like baseball.
There you go. Because you don't like that game. You might like soccer as a game, but this game,
for me, when I look in sports, I look for entertainment.
Sure.
And UFC is the highest level of that, because, like you say, it is a very, very natural, physical thing that I believe all of us have within us, whether it's repressed or not. But I can agree. It is a game. It's a thing we've created as human beings, as opposed to the physical.
You just giving more
comparison between. Because I agree with you. I do agree with you.
Now you get what I'm saying.
I do agree with you. Man,
when you were disagreeing with me,
when you look at it in the sense of level of competition, it is different. One thing is created, whereas one thing is more natural, and I definitely agree with that. But I guess the only thing I'm sort of saying is that, like, I guess you just but you don't have the.
I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, you don't have the enjoyment for it, and you just prefer the all-out war. Let's fucking go for it. Why not?
Do it, yeah.
And that's fair enough, and that's why I can understand why you wouldn't like. Golf's not my favorite thing, but I can respect it as a skill, as the fact that someone's put time into it and has learned how to do this thing. Because if I was to go and walk on a golf course now and try and do what they did, I would not be getting the same amount of shots that they're getting.
There you go. Yeah, I would lose the game 100%. Yeah. Of course, I'm not just because you go to jiu-jitsu. Well, now I'm the best golfer. Like no. Man, I know. I'm just trying to. We're on the same page here now. But that's it. To me, it's that different aspect, and maybe that's why that was going to be my thing with like even someone like Ronaldo.
Is there another sport you like, and if so, what? Ice hockey. I know you like ice hockey.
I used to, but you know what? I used to try and watch it for the fights.
That's fair, man. Maybe that's just you as a person.
That's it, man. That's it. Listen, because I get all this. I get why people like the sports. I get why people like the games. I get it all. I just don't like it. I
guess it's the same as the whole like we'll play a card game like Shithead with our friends. That's a game. There's no physical element to that.
That's right.
And just these other games are just not your.
But see, when I play something like Shithead, it's like something physical to do with our hands while the conversation starts to dwindle, and then every now and then we can say some stuff.
It's also a mind game. It's a massive mind game.
Yeah, we're fucking with each other.
Yeah.
Mind games I like.
You can set traps. There's strategy. Yeah.
Dude, people are different.
I guess that's the like, even though there's definitely strategy and everything in UFC as well. I guess when in soccer as well, it's and other sports, it's cool to be able to appreciate like how you're getting 11 people on a field to be in sync and be able to perform the goal, which is ultimately beat the other team. And I guess when it's a sport that you don't watch, I guess you don't like see the different formations and tactics and how, I'm sure you'd admit it yourself that there's so much more in it. You just aren't tapped into that because it's not something you've ever pursued. Just like your knowledge of UFC and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and what you do yourself isn't something I've fully tapped into. So, you know, you'll know a lot more technical elements, and you can appreciate the way someone spins a move around in a fight, maybe more so than I would, because I
definitely you start to see things. You start to see setups
100%.
coming and stuff like that, which you know with soccer. Like I've sat and watched a soccer match with you, and you kind of know what's going on, and you know the players to watch and this and that, and you know their tactics. It does develop, but it's just the interest. I just purely, that's what it comes down to. I get what it is. I just don't have the interest, and that's what I'm trying to say to you is I think I figured out why, and for me it's that it is purely because it is a game. I could not give a fuck.
You just wish there was gladiatorial fights still
I
happening.
I'll give him some. Can
give him an axe.
Can someone give him an axe?
As long as it's consensual, they can both have
Shield's
a fucking
optional. Just sign a contract to the death. Like, can we get some poor people who need to
Where's
feed
the
their
death
families?
race is that?
Yeah, feed your family. Just have a fight. Might be your last one. Might be one of many. You know, it's all good. We're getting to the end here. We're going to start to wrap it up slowly. There's one more thing I want to say that I was very disgusted with. It's very poor, very un-Australian, I have to say. Alright? Less un-Australian than your fucking stupid ads telling me I'm not Australian unless I have lamb chops for fucking Australian Day. Is the Australian government, you can't, spending a bunch
Everyone watching.
No, I love you. Sorry, I should rephrase that. The government is spending a bunch of our money. You people watching, and then if you're watching, you are the cunts, not the people who are my friends, and which is everyone else. Anyway, the Australian government spending a bunch of money, bro. It was in the news. I didn't take
artworks and fucking.
Did you see it?
I didn't. Did you actually link the article to me? I don't know. I think you just.
I put in the thing.
You just put a note, yeah. But yeah, no, man, that's something that's been going on always, though. But I'm not saying it's expensive. You remember that when
they're buying paintings and chairs and shit, and they cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
When we're in the middle of a
Can
pandemic.
you just fucking steal our money and fucking buy yourself something instead of buying this shit?
Instead of sugarcoating.
I would feel better if these politicians was like stealing money and buying themselves like a nice PlayStation 5 and a new TV for your own personal house. Why are you buying paintings and shitty chairs for a crappy office?
Yeah.
Can you steal the money, please? Can you just take it if you're gonna take it? We're buying nice pictures, paintings. We're gonna put a painting on the wall. In the courtroom, in the wherever the fuck they sit. What's a why?
Chains.
Why?
I don't know, it's fucked up. Because it's televised and they've got to...
Is it even televised?
Sometimes it is. But they've got to depict a certain level of... What's it called? Fuck, I don't know the word.
What do you need expensive paintings for and multi-million dollar chairs? Lee's got this blue chair I've got today. I'd be feeling like PewDiePie or something. How much does this chair cost, Lee?
I got it second hand. So
Lee picked this up off the corner of North Bondi. Cost him $50 and fucking fuel back to the Balkan Hills. Alright? $10,000 on chairs for one office. Are you fucking stupid? Take a cruise around Bondi. You pick them up. They won't be uniform. They'll be different. But fuck, they'll be comfortable. And you'll at least save a bit of money. And
mid-pandemic as well, and when they've all got pay rises as well. Like
pay rise, now we need new chairs.
Yeah, fucking
Can you just take the money and just take it home and just steal it like a normal person? Instead of wasting it on crap. That's what pisses me off more. You waste it on crap?
Yeah.
Can you buy yourself a new fucking house, please? Invest? So at least something's going on with the economy. No. Hey. I'm gonna go to fucking Office Works. I want the most expensive chairs times 100. Cunts. You know, Jesus. Fucking Christ. It's not normal anymore. This is why the world's failing, because people can't even steal properly. Fuck, Lee. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go to holiday. So we're gonna do like I did. And we're not gonna give a fuck. We're gonna drink whiskey and beer.
Ample amounts of spirits and beer.
We're going to go to the bottle shop and ask for all of the beer. Just load it up. The car's there. Just put it in. Keep unloading. Keep unloading it till we can't take any more. Or till you run out. And then we'll do a second trip. It's the holidays. Enjoy your family. We'll be back. The Christmas tree. And big lighters, motherfucker. Peace out!